What does the whole heart, a wholehearted offering to God, what does that include? What parts of our life would that include? It would include all of it. It would include everything. That's what whole heart means. Owning my ministry for God with my whole heart. Lord, help us. Owning my ministry for God with my whole heart. Referencing again John chapter 15, there are two primary themes in John 15 related to the branches and the vine. First, we are told to do what? We're told to abide in him. And then we're told when we abide in Christ, do you know what happens or what the product of that is? We bear much fruit. You read this passage, I think there are 8 abidings and 7 bearing fruits. Again, do the count and remind me what it is. There is an emphasis on abiding, and that's first and foremost. Christianity is not doing a bunch of stuff for Jesus Christ. It is being found in Jesus Christ and saved by his grace and changed by his grace, and that change allows us the privilege of commission. So communion with Christ, abiding with Christ, leads to commission for Christ. A life of activity for Christ. Oh, it's just beautiful. I'm absolutely struck by the exact words in chapter 20. David promises Solomon, he will not leave you or forsake you. What? That's 1 Chronicles 28:20. He will not leave you nor forsake you. How many of you can think of that exact phrase in the New Testament? Where is it? In the New Testament. Matthew 28:20. 28:20, that's crazy. I literally never thought of that before this very moment. What's Matthew 28:18 through 20? The very last passage in the book of Matthew. It is the Great Commission. Jesus says to those whom he's sending out on commission, behold, I am with you to the ends of this age. The same exact partnership that God is promising Solomon in building the temple, he promises us in our commission for Christ. He will never leave us nor forsake us. He's going with us always, even to the ends of the age. Matthew 28:20 is a beautiful New Testament parallel to 1 Chronicles 28:20 in that our mission to exalt Christ is in and with Jesus Christ himself. You don't go on your own. He goes and you're going with him. What a privilege. Do you see the honor that it is to preach Christ, to exhibit Christ, to stand for Christ, to live for Christ, to share Christ, to be hospitable for Christ? Because he's going with you, never leaving you, never forsaking you, always filling us as we go on his commission. His commission with Christ. And so it calls us to have this ministry with our whole hearts. With our whole hearts. Look at verse 9, chapter 29, verse 9. Then the people rejoiced. They had given willingly, for with a, what does it say? Whole heart. They had offered freely to the Lord. David the king rejoiced greatly. What does the whole heart, a wholehearted offering to God, what does that include? Things like what? What parts of our life would that include? It would include all of it. It would include everything. That's what whole heart means. So let's think about those different categories of offering. If you want to offer to God, if you want to give a ministry with a whole heart, if you want to offer with your whole heart, what categories will be included in that wholehearted offering? Things like what? Time. Strong. What else? Money. What else? Labor. Talents. That's really good. What else? Sacrifice. What else? Parenting. You take your home. What else? Friendship. Any other offerings? Your motivation. At the base of this wholehearted offering is an interrogation of your motivations, your desires. What do you want? What drives you? What are you passionate about? What are your interests? It includes everything that you said, and even beneath that, what you truly desire. David desired to magnify the glory of God. And he did everything with a joyful whole heart because that was his aim. And he was owning the entire system for himself, for others, for the people that he was leading and inspiring, because he was owning his ministry for and with God with an entire heart. The whole of it collected for God's glory and honor. You know, when you think about the ministry of the church, it's important to understand the makeup of a local church. The local church is an organization, and the local church is more specifically and significantly an organism. It is an organization of, let me just say it this way. We thought that it was a good idea when our air handler broke to fix it so that we could sit here in moderately comfortable environments. Because it's an organization, and there was money, and there was time, and there were decisions that were put into that. Because we wanted you to be comfortable. So there's an organization, but the emphasis is on the organism, the life, the people, the souls, your lives, and the glory of God through our lives. So we talk about the ministry. You need to understand that there's an organizational part. There's a money part. There's a structure part. If we're going to have the privilege of purchasing a building, we're signing contracts, and there's professionals involved in all of that. There's an organization, and that requires certain features, which is just what it is. But the emphasis, even for the organization, is for the welfare of the organism, the people, the souls, the lives, your spiritual welfare. We are not in any way troubled by the money or the difficulties that the organization may face. What we care about is your well-being. And you do too. You're a good church. You're a caring church. And there are a couple hundred examples in this room of people owning their ministry with Christ with your whole heart.